During this video, I will be explaining how to configure billing in Splynx, automatic billing, manually how to charge customers, how to run recurring invoices, one-time invoices, how to connect customers who are on the prepaid. All this I'll be showing now. In general, in the recurring invoices, we have a recurring engine for that, and for prepaid, there is a prepaid engine. And these two things work separately. So if we talk about recurring, we have a pro rata billing there. There is an option to charge in advance your clients or for past periods. And also you can define if you are charging your clients from first of the month till the end of the month. Or for example, if you have some clients that you charge from 15th till 14th or till 20th, from 20th till 19th. In the prepaid, it's a strict prepaid mode. So it means customer must pay, and only when he has a payment on his account, he will be allowed to continue and to use internet. And auto plan, upgrade and downgrade, they are available for both engines. Okay, so let's take a look on that. We have a client here, and we'll start with recurring payments, recurring engine. When we add a new customer, by default, his type of billing is recurring. We can change it in the configuration, but by default, it's recurring. And there is an option to choose prepaid and recurring. You can see if I have recurring, when I go to his billing, then I have certain settings there saying that this is his period. Like if I charge him in advance, always for the current month or for the next month, or what is his payment type and what is his billing day. These things are very important. This billing day and the period, I will be explaining it right now, but you can see that there are certain options. And if I change my billing engine to prepaid, and when I go there to billing, so this changes. So there's no more long amount of options and settings, but there is no long list. But what instead of that, we have this information about what is the price for services and for how many days this customer has money on his account. So we will start now with recurring payments. Let's add the new service for a client. So we are activating this customer. We are adding him one internet service and 20 meg for price of 20. And first, I mentioned that there is a prorata. So the prorata means if I will define that service starts from 18th, it means that the customer will be charged for half of the month or for this amount of days that we have that left till end of the month. I create that. Good. The service started. So this has a relation to my recurring settings. If I go there to my billing and I click under invoices, many people, they do the first mistake. They go to one-time invoice and they start writing here something like recurring. This doesn't work. Please don't do that, because this one-time doesn't have any relation, even if you select the period or whatever, it doesn't have any relation to your recurring services. So to have connection with this service, you must go to your billing and click the button charge or invoice from this view, or you can go to invoices and click the button add recurring invoice. It's exactly the same. So if you click add recurring invoice, this is what happens. So this is Splynx is trying the 1st of December. It says, okay, I want to use date of 1st of December and cover my months of December. This is what it is doing now. And it's covering remaining days in December, okay? And transaction day, this is my actually date of the invoice, of the PDF that I will see, the date of generation. What I can do, I can also simulate and change what will happen the 1st of January. Because the 1st of January, Splynx will automatically create invoice for this period, okay? It will include that December and it will continue till January. This is, I'm simulating the auto invoicing and I'm working with recurring. If I want to do it manually now, if I want to charge my client, I just confirm it, and then you will see what will happen. The invoice for €29 was created. Here it is. If I open this invoice, it will show me the description and the period for 20 meg. And what is the most important, when I go to my service and edit it, you can see that it says that it was built till end of January. Okay, so it means that when the new batch in January will come, and this customer will not be included there because we already built him for this period of time. I can also charge this client for a longer time. Okay, if I go again to billing, I click charge an invoice, it says in December he was already built. I say, what about January? And it says the same. In January, the customer is already built. So if you want to bill him, choose a different period. So choose the 1st February. So I'm simulating now that what will happen on the 1st of February. I say, okay, I want to charge this client for 6 months, starting from 1st of February, and the transaction date will be today. So it means the invoice will be created today, but the period of recurring will be from 1st of February for 6 months. This is what I'm doing here, and here you can see 20 meg, amount of 120 is the final price I charge, and there is a second invoice here. So this is the second invoice with the same date of today, but with a period from February till July. And again, when I go to my service and I click there, you can see this is the service that it's charged till this date. Okay, so that's it. This is charging customers for 6 months, and also prorated billing I shown here. Of course, you will ask me, do I have to do that always manually for all my clients? So we go there and there are many customers there. Do I have to go to each client? No, you don't have to do that. It's only for case when you want to charge your client for one customer for his recurring services. Okay, let's imagine that we delete all these invoices now. I'm just going to delete them from there. I delete also transaction, because if I do not delete the transaction, what will happen is it will still be charged, but invoice will not appear. So I want to delete both. Now, when I delete transaction and invoice, and I go to my service, I can see here that there is no more yellow message anymore. And what I would like to show you now is how Splynx does automatic invoicing. The automatic invoices are made in the history and preview automatically each day, and it checks the billing day. So if my customer has 1st of month, so if I click this client and I check his billing, I go there, I go to his billing day 1. So it means that he is charged from 1st of months till end of months. Okay, so this is his billing period is from 1st of months till end of months. If I will change this to 6, be very careful with that, because it will start billing customer from 6 always till 5th. Okay, so if you want to include the full months, just use billing day 1. Okay, when the billing day 1 is set up in all my clients, what happens in Splynx? 1st of months, Splynx generates, or according to settings, okay, by default is 1st of months. 1st of months, it generates this preview there. Okay, so there is some historical preview that I canceled, I just remove it. And what happens 1st of January? This is what happens in Splynx. And I can run it. You can see I can run this billing batch manually, and I can confirm it. Okay, and I can issue invoices even in advance. So this is what happens here. It gives me the list of what will happen 1st of January. So it will charge, let's find our client, Chris recurring, and it will charge Chris from 18th of December to end of January for 29 euro, and all other customers. It includes also voice services. Here you can see that we have some voice calls. So it will include to this customer, it will include voice. And because customer doesn't have December included in his last invoice, so it's starting billing him from 1st of December. Okay, so this is, but today is of 18th of December, so I'm simulating this future charge. Okay, and if I'm doing this future charge, and if I want to confirm it, by default you can see that it doesn't allow me to confirm, because it says, okay, do you really know what you are doing? Do you want to confirm it now? Because in the 1st of January there will be a button to confirm, but now, because now is 18th of December, it doesn't show me option to confirm. but I can go to my configuration and under my finance settings, finance automation, there is an option to allow saving preview in future. I can enable that. Okay, if I enable this now, I can simulate what will happen 1st of January, or I can generate the invoices actually. This is what I'm doing. I'm clicking the preview 1st of January, and now you can see this is what Splynx is. Splynx is waiting for this confirmation by default for a few days, and then it's auto-confirming it. Okay, in configuration of the platform, you can say, okay, wait for 1 day, wait for 3 days, but you can also log in there and just confirm it the first day. So this is what I'm doing. I'm clicking this button saying, I want my invoicing date. Do I want it from 1st of January? No, let's make it from 25th. So 25th of December. I'm confirm, and now Splynx is generating all mass invoices, the batch of invoices. So this is the batch that was created 18th of December with the date of batch 1st of January. So it means it's a January invoices. Okay, if I go to my invoices now there, nothing. If I refresh, you see all the invoices were created automatically, and it was a batch. So it's a batch creation of invoices. This is how it works in recurring. As I said, very important thing is to have correctly my billing date. So if I want to create invoices 25th of December for January, what I do, I just do this finance history and preview and run it in advance, or I can set it up in my configuration. I can go to my configuration and there is an automation settings. We can see that it says run preview before billing day, and then we can say, okay, I can generate 5 days before 1st of the month, and then it will generate it always 26th or 25th. Okay, and this is what I can achieve. And then I can say, okay, how many days do we have to wait for this preview? Maybe it will immediately create the invoices, then just select 0, or if you want to have some time to check that preview is correct, just leave it 3. And this is my settings. But as I said, another option, which is rare option, that it's really not used that much, but Splynx allows you, just let's check it. Splynx allows you to charge your clients. For example, we connected customer today. Today is the 18th of December. And I can say, okay, my billing day will be 18th. What does that mean? It means that if I run 1st of month, my batch, it will not appear there because customer will appear only, his invoices will appear only on 18th. So this is what I'm going to do. Charge invoice, if I click my, for example, 1st of December here, yeah, it says from 18th till 17th. So you can see this is exactly what I'm talking about. So it can have a different billing day, and also the period will be different. So the period doesn't include the whole months, I mean the calendar months, but it includes the months starting from 18th till 17th, and the price is 20. Okay, so be very careful, please, with the setting this billing day. I personally do not recommend to change it. There are really few companies that use it because they have so many invoices and they don't want to create all invoices in one day. That's why they split it into 2-3 batches. But by default, this billing day is set up to 1, and I recommend you to use it the same way as well. Yeah, I think that important option here is this period. So if I set up period in a prepay, so it means that this is charging customer always in 1 month in prepay. So it means that if 1st of January, it will charge him for January. If I set up this postpaid, it means that it will include the period that was already in the past. So it will just charge him for December, 1st of January to December, 1st of March till February. Okay, so but if I set up this way, by default, it always charge the beginning of the month. It will charge the whole month that will come. Okay, these are important things: billing due and deactivation period. Billing due, this is amount of days that customer will be locked. So if I generate the invoices today, which is the 18th, so the customer has 15 days to pay the invoice. If he's not paying it, and here I can show my calendar, he will be locked on the day 16th. So if I generate it first, it will lock at 16th. If I generate it 18th, it will add another 15 days and will lock this customer. So that's the activation period is when customer, if he's not paying, it will stop all his services. Okay, so the services of the customer have different statuses. The active, then we can see that there is a status disabled, stopped, pending, and archived. Okay, if I deactivate my client, what happens? When this billing due comes, the customer becomes blocked. So this is what happens here. Customer becomes blocked automatically. How does it affect the services? So the service is still active. I mean, customer can access the internet, but if you have set up your blocking rules, it will not allow him to get the full service. He will be redirected to the page saying that he's not using, he's not paying. Then inactive status, this is what happens when another day, 10 days after non-payment will come, and this is the activation period. So the customer is moved to inactive, and when we save it, we can see what happens with my service. Yeah, my service is set up to stopped, so it doesn't exist, it doesn't work, and actually it's not built. This is the main difference. So we do not create invoices for customers that are inactive. Okay, for blocked customers, we still create invoices, and for inactive, we do not. So if I reactivate this client, set up the service, there is a billing, his balance. How we can make a payment? You can see there is a one important thing that just says how to pay invoices from account balance. We will play a bit with that, but by default, I can just go there and click this button, and it says, okay, the payment, and this is how I process the payments that is related to my invoice. Okay, I have my invoice and I want to pay it, just click button pay. I can also add the payment there, just add the payment and say, okay, my payment was a 30 euro, and I can send a receipt or whatever, add a comment, test. And now I just add my payment, but the payment doesn't have any relation to invoice. You see the invoice still is unpaid status, and the billing overview, it says that the account balance is now above 0, so the customer will not be blocked, but my invoice is not paid because I didn't use this button. Okay, I can again cancel this payment now and process this payment. Just click there, and if I set up this, I add a payment, and the difference is that my invoice becomes paid, and under payments, the payment is created for 2903, and my balance here is 0. Okay, if I enable this auto pay invoices from account balance, what it will do? Let's see the difference. So if I cancel the payment, and now if I go to my payments and add my payment manually that is not related to the invoice, for example, $50, and I add a payment, what happens with my invoice here? It becomes paid from account balance. Okay, so there is no match between payment and invoice, but if I enable the setting of the auto pay invoices from account balance, it just makes the payment of the invoice. Okay, it marks the invoice as paid. So this is the difference, and this is important to understand, especially when customers, when we process automatically the payments using EFT, bank transfers, when customers send us different amounts. So if to not have all my invoices overdue status, and to have this clear, better is to set up auto pay invoices from account balance. Okay, so this is the situation when my customer has recurring services, recurring invoices, and when he's not prepaid, because I can change this client and make him fully prepaid, and then you will see the difference. Okay, before that, I think it's good to show you how to change the plan. So we can see that this is my customer, start date 18th of December. Okay, we can simulate the change of the plan, because if I want to change the plan, upgrade or downgrade, and there is an invoice already for my service, so I can change the date. For example, I say, okay, so he decided to switch to a different plan, which is a 50 meg from 1st of January with the price 40. And so that's why I apply. And this becomes a pending service with a new price. And actually, when I will be charging my client the next time, it will apply him the difference. So it will remove the old, it will recalculate the difference and charge him correctly for the new service. So what happens here? I'm creating the new invoice for the 1st of January, but the customer already changed his plan. So here, Splynx shows me that he will be charged for end of December, and then the new plan will come and play in the January. Okay, if I do that, let's check the invoice that will be created there. Yeah, this invoice, let's open that. And we see that it says return of our unused funds. And this is what that customer paid us. But then we say, no, but this customer actually used this period for 20 meg line, and then he upgraded to 50 meg line. And so he has to pay us the difference. He has to pay us 20 euro. So this is what happens when we change the plan in Splynx for recurring billing. And now we can continue and check our prepaid billing here. What is the difference between prepaid and recurring? I change it to prepaid, and under my prepaid billing, I have these settings. So actually, yeah, there is, let me refresh. Yeah, it says cost per month for all services at 20 euro, but I have no money on my account and I cannot use my internet. So it means when I connect this customer, so the customer balance is too low and the customer will become blocked. And this is done every day on the midnight. It checks the balance, and if customer doesn't have balance for the next day, it will block him. Okay, so this midnight and few hours, this customer will become blocked. So it will just come to status blocked, and we will not be able to use my service. Let's go to payments, and we need to add a payment. If I want to give to this customer access to internet, what I have to do, I have to give him at least 20 euro or 60 euro, for example, for 3 months. So when I do that, we receive the payment for 60 euro there, and then I go to my billing overview. It says 60 euro, and it will be actually fine for us for 3 months. Recurring, this one. Yeah, it shows me here 14 days of service because I still have my services with a change from my previous setup. So that's, I have to delete that first and create a new service that will be just for a prepaid. Okay, so I can create a new service that will be 50 meg, or okay, that will be the same one, 20 meg. And from day starting today, and that will be a prepaid for my clients. And then you see the current balance shows us 3 months of that service. And every month it will create him the invoice, okay, if we enable that, or it can just create the invoice immediately after the payment. Okay, if we want to extend the expiration, there is a button to extend the expiration, and we can say, okay, extend this service. If he paid us till today, but we want to give him a few days more, we can extend it. But this is a very strict type of a prepaid mode. So customer must always have account money on his account to run the service. And when there are settings how you can notify the customer that his balance is below the limit. So if I go to my config, and there are notifications. So if I go notifications on the finance, you can see notifications. There are plenty of different templates and the settings how to notify globally customers, but there is a recurring notifications where we send when the customers will be blocked, we send them this type of message. When they are inactive, we'll send them a different type of message. And for prepaid, we can say, okay, if customer has 10 days before blocking of his service, we can send him the email or SMS message or both. And 5 days, and this can be changed. We can change all the templates. Okay, all of these we can set up under config finance notification. But when I have this client with a prepaid, there is no more need to go to history and preview, confirm something. It just goes automatically, and it starts from the date when customer was connected and when we give him money on his balance and on his account. So if customer is locked today and he's not using my service for 5 days, when he brings money, we are not charging him for these 5 days. Okay, so this is the difference between customer with a recurring type of billing and the prepaid. So I think that's all from my side about the billing configuration and billing options, or you can find more information inside our documentation, because there is option, for example, to create a discount on that. So if I go there are the discounts. I can choose a discount value, or I can create a discount that is set up as a fixed value, not the percentage. Okay, so this is with the discounts. And maybe the last thing that I want to mention here is that I can create to customer credit note, which is I create him the one-time invoice, and I say this is the credit note with minus 20 and or minus 20 including VAT. So if I put it there, it will just change it. And I add a credit note with the same number as invoice. So if you want to change this and say, now this is my credit note invoice 0001, I just change this number. And this is my credit note. So it's marked as a paid because credit note is always paid. Okay, I don't have to ask customer to pay this. And this is the credit note design. So it recognizes that it's not the invoice, but the credit note. And this balance is changed for the client then. So we can see that his account balance grew from 60 to 80. So now it's all from my side. Thank you for your time. Stay in touch.